good over evil.
Janet Jackson. This is arguably the biggest career-ending controversy in live TV history. You all know the story. Jackson and Justin Timberlake were performing at Super Bowl 38 when Justin ripped away her costume and revealed her breast. This was certainly not Jackson's fault, but everyone acted like it was.
There could have been ways that I could have gone about it and handled it better.
Hollywood all but disowned her and pretended that she never existed, and her subsequent album and singles were blacklisted from radio. Even mega conglomerates got in on the boycott, with an executive at Viacom stating that the higher-ups are still pissed at her.
CBS was fined $550,000, and then the NFL was asked to refund the $10 million that they had been given to the halftime show sponsor.
Luckily, the heat has since died down, and Jackson was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2019. Number 9. Charles Rocket. Charles Rocket had a budding career on Saturday Night Live in the early 80s.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, it's just great.
Let's see, you're the one...
Go kind of a cross between Chevy Chase and Bill Murray.
He was one of the major players in the 1980-81 season, and he became popular for his impressions, his recurring character Phil Lively, and a regular segment called The Rocket Report.
Good evening, I'm Charles Rocket with Weekend Update.
Unfortunately, Rocket dropped an F-bomb during the February 21st, 1981 episode, breaking strict broadcast standards.
Oh man, it's the first time I've ever been shot in my life. I'd like to know who did it.
This, along with the season's negative reputation and critical reception, resulted in Rocket's termination. And while he found some success playing comic foils in various 90s movies, he never quite rose above his status as that guy. What can we say? Hollywood takes swearing and nudity very seriously.
Aren't you gonna invite me in?
Number 8. Fergie. By 2018, Fergie was already on her way out of the mainstream limelight. The Black Eyed Peas were in the midst of an extended hiatus, and Fergie hasn't had a top 20 single as a solo artist since 2007. Despite this, she was chosen to sing the national anthem at the 2018 NBA All-Star Game. Unfortunately, her performance was a little shaky and inappropriately sensual, and many people in attendance could barely contain their laughter.
Came through the night that our flag was still there.
Naturally, it also made the rounds online, and Fergie became a viral national laughingstock. It served as the final nail in Fergie's coffin, and she hasn't been heard from since. Number 7. Paula Deen. Beloved Southern chef Paula Deen found herself in hot water in 2013 when former employee Lisa Jackson sued her for racial and sexual discrimination.
Paula's deposition is quite appalling, to say the least. Under oath, she was asked,
"Have you ever used the N-word yourself?"
"Yes, of course."
According to Jackson, Dean was often derogatory towards African Americans, and even wanted to host a plantation-style wedding for her brother, complete with black servants. During the deposition, Paula admitted to using the N-word in the past, further hurting her reputation.
When you say, "Oh yeah, I said the N-word in the privacy of my own home and retelling the story to my husband," I'm sorry, that's racist.
She then appeared on Today to smooth things over, but only made the situation worse by playing the victim.
If you're out there, please pick up that stone and throw it so hard in my head that it kills me.
When the whole ordeal was said and done, Paula's best dishes had been canceled, and Dean had lost numerous lucrative partnerships, as all the major corporations had severed their ties.
So are you here to express what you just said, or are you here to stop the financial bleeding?
Number 6. Brian Williams. From 1993 to 1999, Brian Williams served as the weekend news anchor on NBC Nightly News, before being promoted to head anchor in 2004.
The story actually started with a terrible moment a dozen years back during the invasion of Iraq, when the helicopter we were traveling in was forced down after being hit by an RPG.
He held this position until 2015, when he was brought under fire for lying about an event that occurred to him during the Iraq War.
What altitude were you hit at?
We were only at 100 feet doing 100 forward knots because we had these massive pieces of bridge beneath us on slings.
According to Williams, a helicopter that he was riding in was taken down by an RPG. Numerous soldiers came forward and claimed that Williams was never part of this group and was in fact 30 minutes behind. They were left insulted by Williams' false story, and he was suspended for 6 months.
I made a mistake in recalling the events of 12 years ago. I want to apologize. I said I was traveling in an aircraft that was hit by RPG fire. I was instead in a following aircraft. We all landed after the ground fire incident and spent 2 harrowing nights in a sandstorm.
Following this, he was demoted to chief anchor at MSNBC, and his professional credibility was permanently stained.
I hope they know they have my greatest respect, and also now my apology.
Number 5, Howard Dean. It's amazing how far politics has come since 2004, when a simple scream was all it took to ruin a career forever.
If Howard Dean were running for the 2016 elections, and he would have done that exact same speech, the exact same way, under the exact same conditions, I don't think anybody would have paid any attention to it whatsoever.
After coming in third in the Iowa Democratic caucuses, Dean made an impassioned and unpresidential speech that ended with him pumping his fist and screaming, "Yeah." This speech effectively ended his presidential campaign, and the speech and the scream were relentlessly mocked by the media and late-night talk show hosts.
And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House! Yeah!
It soon became known as the Dean Scream, and some believe that the endless coverage was a product of media bias against the politician. While Dean later became the chair of the Democratic National Committee, his dreams of becoming president were crushed forever on that fateful day.
And it's going to be won in Colorado, and in Iowa, and North Carolina, and Michigan, and Florida, and Pennsylvania, and then we're going to the White House.
Number 4, Natalia Kills and Willie Moon. In 2015, Teddy Sinclair, then known as Natalia Kills, was serving as a judge on the New Zealand version of The X Factor alongside her husband Willie Moon. Unfortunately, both Natalia and her husband were accused of bullying a contestant named Joe Irvine.
For more, we're joined by showbiz commentator Peter Ford. Pete, did the judges deserve to be sacked?
Yes, absolutely.
Natalia insulted him for dressing like her husband, despite it being a basic haircut and suit, and stated that she was embarrassed to be in his presence.
I am disgusted at how much you have copied my husband. From the hair to the suit, do you not have any value or respect for originality?
Following that, Moon compared him to Norman Bates and Leatherface, calling him creepy and stating his belief that Irvine was going to steal someone's face and kill everyone in the audience.
It's just a little bit creepy, and I feel like you're gonna stitch someone's skin to your face and then kill everybody in the audience.
You know, solid constructive criticism like that. Needless to say, they were both fired and quickly reverted back to nobodies.
I hope he ends up winning, just because he had to suffer through these two morons.
Number 3, Sinead O'Connor. Sinead O'Connor's career was positively blowing up in the late 80s and early 90s. In that time, she released her double platinum album, I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got, and her single, Nothing Compares to You, peaked at number 1 in 17 countries. However, that all came crumbling down on October 3, 1992, when O'Connor appeared on SNL. While performing, she ripped a photo of Pope John Paul II to protest sexual abuse against children within the Catholic Church, and she soon became a public enemy.
In the victory of good over evil.
Nothing Compares to You would be her last number 1, and while she continues to release music, she has not had a top 5 single in her native Ireland since 1994. Number 2, Milli Vanilli. In 1989, R&B duo Milli Vanilli released Girl You Know It's True, an album that reached number 1 and was certified 6 times platinum. They also received 5 straight top 5 singles in the United States, 3 of which topped the chart. However, a huge hiccup occurred on July 21, 1989, when a live performance for MTV suffered a technical malfunction. The track began to skip, revealing that singer Rob Pilatus was lip-syncing. While this prompted doubts regarding the duo's authenticity, it wasn't until their album was released in America that singer Charles Shaw revealed that his work was being credited to Pilatus and Fab Morvan.
Brad Howell and Sean Davis are the real singers, and I think they should get this credit.
With this, the duo admitted to being frauds, and Milli Vanilli was no more.
We signed a recording contract which we thought was, to be singing on the record.
Yeah, but he had a bad reputation, Fergie. He had a bad reputation.
Well, I don't
Money?
know that.
You didn't know it?
No. I was 18 years old, coming from France. I signed a recording contract that was in German.
Ashley Simpson. And here we have what is arguably the biggest gaffe in live television history. And unlike with Ms. Jackson, this one's all on you, Ashley. While performing on SNL in 2004, Ashley accidentally revealed that she was lip-syncing when the vocals to Pieces of Me began to play in place of those from Autobiography.
On a Monday, I am waiting. Tuesday, I am failing.
Not knowing what to do, Ashley awkwardly danced off stage and later blamed the band for playing the wrong song. So not only was she lip-syncing on SNL, which in itself is a big no-no, she proceeded to throw her band under the bus. Except no one bought this, and Ashley's career was left in tatters.
There's so many other things when it comes to doing your album. There's writing, there's recording, there's marketing, there's styling, there's all these photo shoots. It's such an exciting time in my life. I can't wait to see what happens next.
And that, dear viewers, is why you never lip-sync. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.